welcome back, and thank you for making Smart 24 your #1 channel. And of course, at Smart 24, we have pledged our support for businesses in Uganda, in East Africa, and we are the #1 station now in East Africa and in Africa at large to give you 24/7 business content from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, from the beginning of the week to the very end of the week. And that is our commitment, that's our goal and vision, to see that we drive business growth in all sectors in Uganda, in East Africa, and in Africa as a continent. Now, we are still looking into the stock market, and definitely other counters also performed on the market, much as we look at the gainers and the losers. But we also have to know about the activity of some other counters on the market, as we can give, of course, they can give you a better picture of what the market really looks like. Now, Bank of Baroda, like we said, went up by 85 Ugandan shillings to a price of, by 5 Ugandan shillings to a price of 85, after trading over 27.5 million shares on a single day. I think that's really awesome when it comes to giving the market's activity over 27 million shares in a single day. Hopefully they were not sold or bought by one person, but we have a couple of them here and there. Batu, British American Tobacco, Uganda, that is the ticker name. Ticker symbol is Batu, but it's British American Tobacco Uganda. Traded at 15K, but did not have any volumes trading at the market. And we are seeing that there was also no shift in pricings for the stock at British American Tobacco. Centum Investment Company, Kenya, at 319.9, also did not trade any volumes, but we're seeing that it went up by 4.63 Ugandan shillings. Cipla Quality Chemicals at 70 Ugandan shillings, did not have any volumes traded, but we're seeing it also stabilizing at 70 Ugandan shillings. Then DFCU Bank at 550 Ugandan shillings, also did not trade any volumes on the market, but stabilized at 550. And then down to East African Breweries Limited, who went up by 11.2 Ugandan shillings, actually did stabilize, also ending with a day price of 4,478.6 Ugandan shillings. Then looking down to Equity Bank Limited at 1,455.55, went down by 12.31 points. And then down to KCB Bank, also who went down by 12.6 Ugandan shillings to a price of 1,352, and it did not trade any volumes on the market yesterday. MTN counter here at 189.88 closing price, went up by 0.18 Ugandan shillings. Notably, MTN Uganda, we are seeing it come up, and yes, beginning with 200 shillings on your IPO is quite a task, a daunting task to come back to that price, because at 189 we're still below the mark of where we started, and that's not a good indicator. We want to go upwards, and so we hope this counter can keep on gaining and gaining until we go back to the 200s. Who knows, we can go to 300s and 1000. Why not? Definitely, if we as Ugandans make the counter trade. And definitely at 189.88 closing price, MTN Uganda traded a volume of about 274,226 shares on the market yesterday. Then moving on to other stocks here, we are seeing National Insurance Corporation, who went down from 6.2 Ugandan shillings to 6 Ugandan shillings after a loss of 0.2 Ugandan shillings. Now, this was as a result of trading of about 444,646 shares yesterday, led to this movement, as you can see, from 6.2 to 6 Ugandan shillings. Nation Media Group, who also went down by 9.65%, 65 Ugandan shillings, closed at 607.81 Ugandan shillings on the market. And he did not trade any volumes on the market there. New Vision Limited, a printing and publishing company, at 160, did not trade any volumes and did not have any movement in price. And then Stanbic Bank Uganda at 21 Ugandan shillings traded a volume of 42,100 and lost value by 0.49 Ugandan shillings. Now, Stanbic Bank has also seen some kind of stagnant kind of price from 22, 23, 21, 22, 23, 21, and we're seeing that maintained over the trading day yesterday. Uganda Craze Limited this time did not have any activity, actually trading at 17 Ugandan shillings, but there was no volumes traded, and neither did we have any movements in price. He was among the losers though the day before, but he did lose any further or gain on the trading day yesterday. Then Umeme at 210 lost about 15 Ugandan shillings from 225 to 210 Ugandan shillings after trading a volume of 19,613 on the trading market there. Now, looking at the trading summary, the day ended on the Uganda Security Exchange. The trading session ended with over 28,291,525 shares that were traded, corresponding to a market value of over 2.39 billion Ugandan shillings on the trading day yesterday. Compared to the previous Uganda Security Exchange trading day, that is July 15th on Tuesday, the data showed 500% improvement in turnover. Wow, that was a great improvement in turnover, but definitely that could be attributed to the stock on the Bank of Baroda, who traded a very huge volume of 27.5 million shares. And the current market capitalization now of the Uganda Securities Exchange is 21.9 trillion Ugandan shillings. In aggregate, 5 USE listed equities participated in trading, ending with 5 gainers. And these gainers were led by Bank of Baroda, as earlier mentioned, who led them by 6.25%, with the price appreciation closing at actually 85 Ugandan shillings. And then he was followed by Centum, who came in at a 1.47% increase, and then East African Breweries, who came in at a 0.25% increase, and Kenya Airways also coming in at 0.25%. On the losing side, however, Umeme led the losers from the bottom with the price depreciation of 6.67% at a price of 210 shillings per share compared to the day before of 225, followed by National Insurance Corporation at 3.23% loss, then Stanbic at 2.28% loss, while Jubilee Holdings at 1.95% came there after. Bank of Baroda recorded the highest volume on the market of 27.5 million shares, followed by National Insurance Corporation at 444,646 shares, while MTN Uganda at 274,226 shares, while Stanbic came at 42,100. Regarding the performance of the USE market indices, the benchmark index, the all-share index, dropped by about 6.63 points. That is 0.52% points loss to close at exactly 1,264 points. and on the end of day trading, representing a 1 week gain of 4.55%, a 4 week gain, wow, of 3.81%, but an overall year-to-date loss of 11.1%. So looking at 1 month back, the index is doing good. Yeah, the index has gone up. Looking also 1 day back, definitely daily increase, the index has also gone up. And then looking at the year-to-date, we are still on a losing side, but not so much, at 11.01%. The USE Local Company Index, the LCI, also decreased by 0.45% to 278.75%, and making it a 1 week gain of 3.34% and a 4 week loss of 0.8%, and year-to-date loss of 14.14%. That is the Ugandan market. The market is open right now, and if you would want to trade on the stock market of Uganda, the Uganda Security Exchange is giving you an opportunity to do so without any movement in your office, in your classroom, in your dormitory, in your bedroom. You can now dial *165# via the MTN SIM card, and then follow the option 6, that is financial services. Then later follow option 5, which is the USE, the Uganda Security Exchange option. And then from there onwards, the rest is history. You enter your national identification number or your passport number. You also send in your details. They will open for you an SCD account for free. It's free of charge to open. And I repeat, an SCD account is free of charge. So when you open this SCD account, you can now start transacting using money from either mobile money on MTN, or you can use your bank account using your bank account number. You can transact funds from your bank account onto the SCD account, where you can use that to be able to buy shares on the different counters in Uganda. And also Altex East Africa and Altex Clearing is saying, hey, we have an opportunity for you to trade on the stock market using your phone without need to access the internet, by simply dialing *292# and following the prompts. If you want to learn more about Altex, you can visit their website as well at www.altexisteafrica.com, and you can look for their Zabu initiative. The Zabu initiative has been launched this year to help increase the accessibility of the financial markets, in particular the stocks and the fixed incomes. So you have no excuse, honestly, but to just begin and you make your trades on the stock market, on the financial fixed income markets. You can do this, and I think this will push us far as a country. And now you have to remember as well that to open an SCD account, you don't need any money. You just need to also use your phone. You can also visit www.useeasyportal.com. This easy portal also helps you open the SCD account via the internet, for that matter. Thank you for that, and I hope you take it at heart and make use of that information. Now, let's move very quickly to the Nairobi Stock Exchange. Very important to note is yesterday we had Dyer and Blair brokerage firm here, and the lady, if you remember, if you're following the show, she said they can help you trade on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. They can help you trade on the Rwanda Securities Exchange. They can help you trade on the Ugandan, of course, and the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange. So it's important we have a look at some of the performance of these companies here on the Nairobi Stock Exchange as well, so we can actually get to know what's happening. Remember, information and knowledge is everything when it comes to the stock exchange. Now, looking at the performance of the companies here, we had several companies perform well on the market, and others didn't. In aggregate, over 50 Nairobi Security Exchange listed equities participated in trading, ending with 16 gainers and 21 losers. Now, the losers, the gainers were led by Limuru Tea Company, who led the gainers by a 9.38%, share price appreciation, closing at 385 Kenyan shillings per share. He was followed by Olympia Capital Holdings, who came in number 2 at a 6.99% appreciation, and Sasini Tea and Coffee, who came in at a 5.77% appreciation, while Uchumi Supermarket came in at 5.56% appreciation. On the losing side, we had Everready. As you can see on the tables here, we had Everready coming in at 0.7. You got Kenyan shillings. That was a 2.78%. We also had Stanley Fahari, who came in at a 6.79% loss, and the Commercial Bank of Kenya, who came in at a 3.03%, and East African Cables, who came in at a 2.86% loss. Safaricom recorded the highest volumes traded of 6.03 million traded shares, followed by the Kenya Power and Lighting Company at 612,100 shares, while HF Group came in at 493,500 shares, while Cooperative Bank of Kenya at 385,200 shares came in there as well. Now, at the end of the day's trading session, we're seeing that the benchmark index, that is the Nairobi Stock Exchange All Share Index, moved up by 0.91 points. That was a 0.66% points going up to close at 139.36. And just briefly looking at the All Share Index here of the Nairobi Stock Exchange, we're seeing that the graph still doesn't seem to have changed that much from what we are used to, but we are seeing at least it's coming out of the ruts of the 110, the 120 that we have seen before, soaring into the 120s and now the 130s. And looking about 10 months back in September 2021, we see that this index was performing to highs of about 150 on average. That is in September 2021. We're seeing just a few fluctuations here and there, but not much of the change from the 150 points. And we see that it flattens out somewhere here on the 150, and that meaning that not much really has changed, but we see still it's performing below its average performance at the moment with 130 points for the All Share Index. Looking at other performing indices, we also had, looking at this index, we have a 1 week gain of 5.42% for the All Share Index and a 4 week gain of 8.68%, but an overall year-to-date, as we have seen, loss of 16.28%. So since the year began, 2022 January, we have lost a value of about 16.28%. Still not a good market performance for the Nairobi Stock Exchange All Share Index. Looking at other remarkable indices that performed well on the Nairobi Stock Exchange, we have the NSE 20 that came out at a 0.02% daily loss, and an 1,175.13% 1 week gain, and an 11.4% year-to-date loss. The NSE 25 index also came out at a 0% daily gain or loss, and we had a 3.96% weekly gain, while we have an 11.4% year-to-date loss as well. And that was definitely the Nairobi Stock Exchange. But let's look into Limuru Tea. Who is Limuru Tea? Because he came out on top of the other companies, so we got interested. And we would love to monitor his performance here, the stock performance of Limuru Tea Company, as you can see on the table behind me. Now, Limuru Tea Company is a Kenyan company engaged in growing of green leaf tea. And the company owns over 275 hectares of tea land situated 4 kilometers to the east of Limuru town. And the Limuru Tea Company is an outgrower of Unilever Tea Kenya Limited. Unilever Tea Kenya Limited acts as the company's managing agent in the growing, manufacturing, sales, and the marketing of its tea. And the tea estate Greenleaf is manufactured in the Unilever Tea Kenya Maboroki factory, from where it is sold mainly for export. Limuru Tea Company is listed on the Nairobi Securities Exchange and trades under the ticker name or ticker symbol LIMT. And it's the 45th most valuable stock. And remember, when we talk about value, we're talking about the market capitalization. It has a market capitalization of 924 million Kenyan shillings. Remember, on the Nairobi Stock Exchange, we have 65 listed equities, and Limuru Tea ranks the 45th most valuable stock on that particular market, and has a market capitalization of 924 million Kenyan shillings, and that is about 0.043% of the Nairobi Stock Exchange. And looking at the performance of this particular counter on the Nairobi Stock Exchange, we are seeing that the prices closed at around we're seeing that the market closed at around 385 Kenyan shillings per share on the Nairobi Securities Exchange, recording a 9.4% gain over its previous closing of 352 Kenyan shillings. And Limuru Tea began the year with a price of over 320 and has since gained over 20.3% of that on its price valuation, ranking it the number 4. That is the 4th most valuable, most highly performing stock in terms of year-to-date performance on the Nairobi Stock Exchange. Shareholders can be optimistic about Limuru Tea, knowing that the stock has accrued over 8% over the past 4 weeks period and of course this indicates the 12th best on the Nairobi Stock Exchange. So if you want to invest in the Nairobi Stock Exchange, please look out for Limuru Tea. Looking at its performance in green all over, in terms of year-to-date performance, it has improved by 20.3%, and in terms of maybe 4 weeks, when we look at a 4-week period, it has improved by 8%. So everything looks really, really attractive for Limuru Tea Company. And definitely Limuru Tea is the 55th most traded stock out of the 65 stocks on the Nairobi Stock Exchange over the past 3 months. And Limuru Tea has traded a volume of about 7,400 shares, and that is in about 11 deals, valued at 2.45 million Kenyan shillings over the same period, with an average of about 117 shares per day, per trading session, and a volume high of about 2,900 that was achieved on June 21st for the same period. Now, looking at this table here, it shows the current stock performance. They can see that on the 13th of July, they traded over 200 shares, each at 385 Kenyan shillings. So you can convert this to Ugandan shillings by maybe multiplying by a factor of 39, depending on the forex rates. And we're seeing a 33 Kenyan shillings gain in price. Now, that is quite significant if we convert that here, because if you have a 30 times the 30, that is something like in the 900s gain on a daily, which is something rare on the Ugandan market. So we have 9.38% appreciation, and definitely more of this, but definitely time is not our best ally. We would go deeper into this performance, but Limuru Tea, you should look out for that stock on the Uganda Securities Exchange. Definitely something you can trade on, if at all you're looking at highly performing stocks. Now we're going into a short break, but when we return, definitely we return with Mr. We're going to come back with Mr. Kasesi, who is from the UAP Old Mutual. He is, of course, a CFA, that's a Chartered Financial Analyst with the firm, and we are talking unit trust. What are some of the critical, performance indicators of these unit trusts? Why have they become so popular, and how can they help the common Ugandan? We'll be right back after this short commercial break.